Well, we are Team Galaxy. This is Toby, my name is Heather, and this is Daniel. Just to go over and get you a little more privy to our project, our management decision that we are taking on is that should Samson start selling merchandise at their own retail location, more or less we see Samson as a commercial presence. Right now they're intangible, or they're kind of in the back burner of everybody's third-party vendor. So really, should they become more of like an Apple or Microsoft that now has an own personal retail space? So our research problem is to determine if, in fact, having a retail store influences the customer's purchase intention. We want to uncover if Samsung customers are like Apple customers. Do they like going to a tangible, or do they just like going to a cellular store and buying their products, or to a third-party vendor? So some of the locations that we want to conduct our survey is, so we're thinking, first of all, of course, mall, trying to capture our retail shoppers, to utilize space outside of the Apple retail store, mostly because these retail shoppers are going to kind of give us some insight about how they feel about a retail experience. Be in a proximal distance with shoppers or people around the Microsoft kiosk that they have in the mall to get a feel for, does a kiosk work better than retail? Getting a feel for also, like in the middle of the store you have your cellular retailers, they also have their stores in there. Just trying to spread out and get a wide variety of shoppers, but still be somewhat in a location that is next to retailers that sell our items. Then we also thought that being in more of like a Best Buy, where it's the only store that you'd be going there for. More in the electronics realm doesn't matter if all your products are together, people who are going there for multiple purposes. Then we also thought a good idea would be this week to utilize the Tulsa State Fair, because we're going to have a wide demographic of people that are going to be there, not really for any kind of electronic specific reason. So could that in any way give us a better gauging? Could that not give us a better gauging? Really, with Tulsa State Fair, it would be more of a random sampling, as with the Best Buy and with, say, the mall situation, we may have to go more along a judgment-based sampling, just because if we really want to get as many responders as possible, a woman with screaming kids probably isn't going to have time to stop. So it would have to be somewhat random, judgment random, based on if somebody could actually answer the questions for us.
Thank you, Heather. So we're moving on to question design. We asked ourselves, what is the purpose of each question? So we divided our questionnaire that you have in your hands to 5 different purposes, and we will go to each purposes one by one.
Okay, so as you see on your survey, the first one is to establish intent. We have 3 different questions, as you can see on there. Do you currently own a smartphone? Have you ever previously owned a smartphone? And then which one of these manufacturers will you buy your next one from? What we kind of want to do there is basically see if there are any trends where people had Apple 3, then they bought the 4, they're going to buy the 5. So we want to see if there's maybe trends there, or if people are willing to switch back and forth. Kind of that's along the lines of what we were hoping to discover through those questions. The next one on the next page is our next kind of section. We want to understand location, purpose, and intent, how those kind of interplay. So there's also 3 questions there. And then that one is a lot more about ranking kind of stores, where people prefer to shop from, where do they want to buy smartphones from, and then where they also go to solve problems. So we kind of wanted to let them rank and determine that.
The next one is to measure the influence of different factors of a smartphone. Like you can see in the handout or on the screen, there are different factors that we'll list out that we think are important: price, technical features, all this stuff. But we want to focus on if previous experience with phones with the same manufacturer is actually a huge factor or not a factor at all, or if the opportunity to try features of smartphone prior to purchase is an important factor. By knowing this, the answers, we will then be able to make a better decision whether we should open a retail store or not. To understand demographics, instead of asking the usual, what is your age, what is your gender, we only decided to use 2 different questions. How often do you use smartphone, and how long does it usually take for you to get comfortable with your new smartphone? This way we will know that if this person is someone who is used to smartphones or not.
Our last one is to reveal perception and preference. Basically there we want to find out, that's kind of the bulk of what we actually want to
John?
research, and there's the 3 questions you can see.